Welcome once again to Commander by Danon. Today's video was brought to us by Patreon supporter Alix. Huge thanks to Alix and the rest of my Patreon supporters. Alix reached out asking for a deck he calls Totally Not Slivers, led by Inga and Esika, and I was intrigued to say the least. Also, and I know it's annoying to keep hearing this, but statistically if I don't ask you to like and subscribe, the video gets fewer subscribers. Inga and Esika are a 4-mana 4/4 legendary human god that give creatures we control vigilance and tap, add 1 mana of any color. Spend this mana only to cast a creature spell. Additionally, whenever we cast a creature spell, if 3 or more mana from creatures was spent to cast it, we draw a card. Okay, so we want lots and lots of creatures in this deck. We can use them to cast other creatures, thus drawing us cards. But Alix specifically wanted a Slivers deck that didn't have any slivers in it. Slivers are creatures that buff each other. The more slivers you have, the more powerful your slivers become. So we're looking for effects that buff our creatures. So slivers, but totally not slivers. But before we get to our deck list, a quick word from our sponsor, Ultimate Guard. Ultimate Guard makes these beautiful solid color playmats, like this one in a gorgeous shade of crimson. One of my favorite things about Ultimate Guard is their vibrant color palette. This mat is surprisingly thick and much smoother than many other playmats I've used before. And since it's my favorite color, this one will probably be my go-to from now on. Find out if your local game store carries Ultimate Guard products, or click the link in the video description to go to their Amazon store. In order to build a functional commander deck, you need lots of different pieces, which is why I try to rely on my handy-dandy checklist. 50 mana sources, usually split between 37 lands and 13 pieces of ramp, 10 pieces of card advantage, 8 to 10 pieces of spot removal, 2 to 3 board wipes, 2 pieces of graveyard hate, and 1 sudden I win card. Oh, one more quick announcement before we get started. I'm currently streaming with my son over on Gaming with Danon as well as Twitch. It'll mostly be Final Fantasy XIV, but you're more than welcome to pop in and talk about Commander. Honestly, about half my streams are talking about manga, anime, or Commander. For lands, we're running Command Tower, Exotic Orchard, Misty Rainforest, Windswept Heath, Flooded Strand, Wooded Foothills, Polluted Delta, Breeding Pool, Rejuvenating Springs, Dreamroot Cascade, Hinterland Harbor, Hedge Maze, Rimewood Falls, Tangled Islet, Willow Rush Verge, Flooded Grove, Yavimaya Coast, Bark Channel Pathway, Vine Glimmer Snarl, Simic Growth Chamber, Scavenger Grounds, 10 Forests, and 6 Islands. A nice, simple land base. Our mana ramp package consists of Vorinclex, Enduring Vitality, Ovia Automech Artisan, Somberwald Sage, Llanowar Tribe, Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, Thrawn Dynamo, 3 Visits, Rampant Growth, Farseek, Nature's Lore, Cultivate, and Kodama's Reach. Some mana rocks, some mana dorks, and land ramp. For card advantage, we've got Garruk's Uprising, The Great Henge, Finale of Devastation, Orin Frostfang, Sabsunan Luxa Embodied, Beast Whisperer, Rhystic Study, Muldrifter, Tachiova Benthic Druid, Tribute to the World Tree, and Guardian Project. Lots of ways to dig through our deck and keep our hands full. Our interaction and spot removal consists of Frilled Mystic, Mystic Snake, Reclamation Sage, Beast Within, Commit Memory, Counterspell, Negate, Return to Nature, Naturalize, and Rapid Hybridization. A good mix of counter magic and permanent removal. For board wipes, we're running Cyclonic Rift and Azuri's Predation, both powerful and thematic. The core of our deck consists of Craterhoof Behemoth, Crashing Drawbridge, and Raise Forerunners, Sarek and Goreclaw, Archetype of Imagination, Archetype of Endurance, Pathbreaker Ibex, Emrakul the World Anew, God Eternal Ronus, Kamal Fist of Kroza, Sereth the Viper's Fang, Wonder Thunderfoot Baloth, Brawn, Nylea God of the Hunt, Bellowing Tangleworm, Giant Ankeg, Ulvenwald Oddity, Old One-Eye, Merkfiend Liege, Chasm Skulker, Hornet Queen, and Koma Cosmos Serpent. Supporting our plan, we've also got Kira Great Glass Spinner, and Rite of Replication. Gotta love making tons and tons of creatures. Now that we have our deck list, let's compare it to our checklist. 51 mana sources, but between 37 lands and 14 pieces of ramp. A little heavy, but our curve is a little high, so it's fine. 11 pieces of card advantage. 10 pieces of interaction. 2 board wipes. 2 pieces of graveyard hate in Commit Memory and Scavenger Grounds. 1 sudden I win card in Craterhoof Behemoth. Of course, this deck can win games even if we never see Craterhoof. We just continually cast creatures that make our creatures bigger and stronger, and overwhelm our opponents. What's that? They have a bunch of blockers? Well, our creatures all have trample. Our opponents have a bunch of flyers? No, they don't. Not anymore, thanks to Archetype of Imagination. They have a fog preventing all combat damage? Good thing we have counterspells. Now, normally I don't run Azuri's Predation. I think the card is too expensive and there are just too many large creatures in Magic that would win in a fight with a 4/4. But in this deck, I think it'll do just fine. We'll have to wait to hear back from Alex, though. Do you have an Inga and Esika deck? What about a deck like this? Something inspired by Slivers, but isn't actually Slivers? Leave a comment below. Thanks for tuning in. Once again, a huge shout out to my editor cutestuff. I couldn't make these videos without her. If you'd like to hire her to edit your own videos, she can be reached at cutestuff.edits@gmail.com. Link is down below. If you're looking for ways to support the channel directly, you can head on over to patreon.com/Danon. You can have a video made, or just ask for help building or tuning a deck list. I also wanted to give a quick shout out to all of my patrons: Waffles, Jiraiya, Muffins, Marcus, Brett, Roxy, Alex Borgi, Nazwin Conga, Chris, Robert, William Pye, Kazaris, Booksu, Patrick, Tiz, Art, Richard, Sint, Boomy, Jackie, Finn, Zen, Asura, Justin, and Christian. You guys are awesome. I post new Commander Deck videos every weekday, so be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified of new videos. Again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all again next time on Commander by Danon.